The U.S. Supreme Court's 6-3 emergency ruling on December 5, 2025, handed Texas Republicans a massive victory by allowing their racially gerrymandered mid-decade congressional map, crafted to add 5 GOP seats, to stay in place for the 2026 midterms. But Justice Alito's concurrence explicitly signaled that California's retaliatory Prop 50 Democratic gerrymander is equally legal, effectively neutralizing Trump's nationwide midterm rigging scheme and handing Gavin Newsom a stunning strategic win. Donald Trump and Greg Abbott's audacious mid-decade Texas power grab, redrawing an already gerrymandered map to carve 5 extra Republican seats, appeared to score a knockout when the Supreme Court's right-wing bloc slapped down a Trump-appointed district judge's finding of racial discrimination, but buried in Alito's concurrence, joined by Thomas and Gorsuch, was a bombshell admission that California's voter-approved Prop 50 in California is indisputably driven by the same pure and simple partisan advantage, gutting any GOP lawsuit against Newsom's counter-gerrymander before it even lands. The ensigned majority order presumed Texas legislators' good faith despite 9 days of trial evidence showing explicit racial targeting of Latino districts, while Kagan's furious dissent, joined by Sotomayor and Jackson, blasted the holiday weekend reversal as disrespect to a meticulous 160-page lower court opinion. Texas Republicans erupted in triumphant tweets. "We won. Texas is officially more red." Yet the same logic that saved their map now dooms their California challenge, where Prop 50's landslide 62% approval created 5 new Democratic seats to perfectly offset Abbott's 5 red heist. Virginia Democrats, watching the ruling drop, immediately mobilized a constitutional amendment for their own aggressive redraw. Speaker Don Scott and Senate President Pro Tem Louise Lucas openly floating a 10-1 Democratic congressional delegation as payback. North Carolina, Indiana, Missouri, and Florida Republicans who cheered Texas's map now face Democratic legislatures plotting mirror-image gerrymanders. The Supreme Court's partisan is fine, racial is bad line a Pandora's box that just blew the lid off nationwide map warfare. Trump's shadow docket victory celebration lasted mere hours before Alito's own words turned the knife, exposing the fatal flaw in the GOP's double-standard playbook. If Texas gets to play dirty, everyone gets to play dirty. California's retaliatory map, passed by voters explicitly to counteract what Texas had done, now sails through on the same legal runway the court just paved, leaving Trump's midterm rigging dreams in tatters as blue states line up to redraw with the same ruthlessness. The ruling's timing, days before 2026 primaries, locks in Texas's racial gerrymander for the cycle, but the concurrence's "what's good for the goose" logic guarantees California's map survives any challenge, handing Democrats a net-zero national impact and exposing the GOP gambit as self-sabotage on a historic scale. Texas Republicans, at Trump and Abbott's direct urging, launched an unprecedented mid-decade redistricting in summer 2025 to convert 5 Democratic-leaning seats into safe Republican ones by cracking Latino population centers, a move the 3-judge Western District panel, headed by Trump appointee Matthew Kacsmaryk, slammed in October after 9 days of testimony and 3,000 pages of evidence as predominant racial gerrymandering violating the 14th and 15th Amendments. The panel's 160-page injunction blocked the map for 2026 elections, but Trump raced to Justice Alito for shadow docket relief, securing an October administrative stay that froze enforcement pending fuller consideration. On December 5, the Supreme Court's 6-3 conservative bloc issued an ensigned order granting Texas's stay application, presuming legislative good faith in ambiguous evidence and faulting challengers for not producing a viable alternative map despite the pre-2025 status quo existing as remedy. Alito's concurrence, joined by Thomas and Gorsuch, explicitly acknowledged California's Prop 50 map was adopted for the stated purpose of counteracting what Texas had done, conceding it was indisputably motivated by partisan advantage, pure and simple. the exact standard that makes gerrymandering constitutionally permissible. Kagan's dissent, backed by Sotomayor and Jackson, scorched the majority for overturning a meticulous fact-finding trial on a cold paper record over a holiday weekend, violating clear error review and ensuring racial districts would govern midterms. California voters approved Prop 50 by 62% in November 2025 precisely to neutralize Texas's 5-seat gain by creating 5 new Democratic districts, Newsom framing it as defensive democracy against MAGA map malice. Virginia Democrats immediately introduced a constitutional amendment, identical language passing both chambers January 14, 2026, for April voter referendum in April, to unlock their own mid-decade redraw. Speaker Scott and Senate President Lucas openly floating a 10-to-1 Democratic delegation. North Carolina, Indiana, Missouri, and Florida Republicans who celebrated Texas's map now face Democratic legislatures plotting mirror-image gerrymanders under the same SCOTUS logic. The ruling's eve of election piety, claiming district courts must not alter rules near voting, crumbles under its own hypocrisy, having just blessed legislative rule alteration months from primaries. The state defers full review for years, effectively killing the racial challenge until after 2026, locking Texas's map, while Alito's concurrence simultaneously immunizes California's. Abbott's triumphant, "Texas is officially more red," tweet aged like milk within hours as Alito's own words handed Newsom the ultimate checkmate. Inside the Supreme Court's marble mausoleum on December 5, 2025, the 6 conservative justices and signed order crackled across clerk screens, Alito's concurrence, Thomas and Gorsuch nodding along, casually conceding California's Prop 50 map was indisputably pure partisan play, the same sauce that saved Texas's 5-seat steal. Austin's pink granite capital erupted in Abbott-aid high fives. "We won" texts flying as the stay froze Kaczmarek's 160-page racial gerrymander gut punch, 9-day trials witness parade, and 3,000 exhibits suddenly shadow docket dust. Sacramento's Golden Dome State House glowed with Newsom's grin, Prop 50's 62% landslide now bulletproof under Alito's own logic, 5 blue seats a perfect parry to Texas's 5 red. Richmond's colonial capital corridors thrummed with Lucas's tweet thunder, 10:1 not out of realm. Scott's chamber churning amendment ink for January 14th's identical language launch, 65D majority, mapping a voter referendum for April's midterm makeover. North Carolina's Raleigh Rotunda rumbled with Democratic drafts, Indiana and Missouri state houses mirroring the mirror image maneuvers, Florida's Tallahassee tallying the tit-for-tat tempest. Kagan's dissent chamber, Sotomayor and Jackson's nods fierce, fumed at the holiday haste, cold record reversal a judicial jab at trial toil's truth. Abbott's victory tweet aged in hours, Alito's goose-gander line a grenade in GOP guts, California's counterpunch now court-crowned. Virginia's January 14th right loomed large, Lucas Scott's synergy a swift sword slicing SCOTUS's laissez-faire into legislative leverage. The shadow docket's secret sanctum sealed the stay, appeals avenue stretching to 2030 as midterms marched under mangled maps. Trump's Mar-a-Lago monitors flickered with the ruling's rush, 5 seats secured, yet California's offset a bitter balance in the boss's boardroom. This tableau teemed with turnaround's thunder, Texas triumph tasting temporary in tit-for-tat's tempest. Abbott's Austin aides exhaled champagne glee at the stay. Officially more red, tweets a triumphalist torrent swiftly soured by Alito's California concession, staffers' screens freezing on the goose-gander gut punch. Newsom's Sacramento smile stretched stratospheric, Prop 50's 62% voter venom now vindicated in conservative concurrence, 5 blue seats a perfect parry to Texas theft. Lucas's tweet thread thundered Richmond, something in store for Texas, a viral vow, Senate's 21D roar rising, as 10:1 taunt trended. Scott's House huddle hummed 64D resolve, January 14th resolution a first-day fire. Amendments April ask a voter vow in 65D clout. Kaczmarek's panel exhaled at verdict's vent. Witnesses worry washing in 160-page vindication. Latino leaders hugging hallway huddles. Trump's Alito appeal a lifeline lob. Stays suspension sugar rush for map drafters. SCOTUS 6 simmered satisfaction in 6-3 grant. Alito's good faith bomb for sins. Challenger's absence gotcha gloss. Kagan's dissent dripped disdain. Sotomayor-Jackson joins Jossett at haste. Trial toil tossed for paper push. North Carolina Dems deliberate dins dim deliberate daggers. Mid-decade mimicry mulling precedents percolate. Bipartisan briefers, buzz stays sting. LULAC lawyers livid at racial remnants rammed midterms. Trump's telegrams trumpet triumph. Abbott aides toasting 5-seat salvation. Appeals ache avenues abyss. District dance, circuit crawl, SCOTUS sequel. 5-7 years slog sealing grip. 2021 blueprint pulses prequel. Trump's collusion crimson thread. Spamberger's romp ripples red route. 5 Trump district flips. 2025 bolt. Doge cuts scar veteran veins. ACA sabotage subsidy sting. This reaction real reeks recoil. Distractions dodging deluge. The 6-3 stay slices shadow play supreme. Alito's block blessing Texas's felony with good faith gloss on racial rot. 9-day trials truths trashed for ambiguous alibis and alternative absences blind to status quo stare. Kaczmarek's Trump-tainted trio's verdict. Racial predominance paramount in 14th to 15th sins. Crumbles under Clearer's corpse. Majority's holiday haste a hasty hatchet, hacking district deference for appellate heir. Kagan's dissent detonates the dodge. Sotomayor-Jackson jabs the cold record coup. Trial toils testament toppled without standards whisper. A fact-finder's fealty felled for partisan preserve. Alito's concurrence. Thomas Gorsuch nod. Nukes the nationwide gambit. California's Prop 50 pure partisan, play now court crowned. 5 blue seats a symmetric stab at Texas's 5 red surplus. Virginia's Lucas Scott synergy surges the slope. 10:1 tees a tantalizing tango. In 65D cloud. January 14th, write a first-day fire for April's voter vow. North Carolina, Indiana, Missouri, Florida's nascent nods nurture norm. Mid-decade mirror magnifying mess. The irreparable harm. Harp hollows hypocrisy. District deference drowned in docket dalliance mere months from ballots. Appeals eternity seals golden goose. House math mangled midterm ward. 2021's warped weave wins 2025 felony. Trump's collusion crimson curse contorted contours. Federal state balance. Baloney bigots beam. Majorities confusion. Moan mirthless mockery map drafters malice. Scott's bully bulwark stand up. Echoes 2021 blackpacking gratitude. Jibe. Lucas's pack into one payback prod. Trump's -12 poll plunges peril. Virginia's veto voice veto proof in 65D chamber. Doge cuts scar veteran veins. ACA sabotage subsidy sting. This docket dalliance dissects democracy's dimming. Shadow docket shroud sheltering since 6 justice stasis. Yet states symmetric stabs tit for tat tempest tease tables turn. The shadow docket's bitter afterbite lingers like legislative laudanum. Texas's racial redline relic rammed midterms maw. 5 GOP graphs gorging Latino votes vivisected verdicts void. Kaczmarek's trial toil putrefies paper push purgatory. Trump trio truths toppled good faith ghosts, alternative alibis absent old map. Kagan's dissent drips defiant. Sotomayor-Jackson judicial Jeremiah jabbing haste heresy. Clear error canker court cold calculus. Alito's goose gander nukes nationwide gambit. California's Prop 50 parody poetic. 62% venom vending blue bastions blunt Abbott audacity. Virginia's Lucas Scott synergy surges slope. 10:1 tees, tantalizing tango 65D cloud. January 14th, right first day, fire April's voter vow. North Carolina nods nurture norm. Redraw rush reciprocal rampage ruling rubber stamp wake. Appeals abyss 5-7 slog seals gerrymander grip. House math mangled midterm mangled map. 2021 warped weave 2025 felony. Trump collusion crimson contorted contours. Eve, piety punchline punches hollow. district deference docket dalliance dim. This necrotic narrative nauseates national news. Shadow docket shrouds strangling scrutiny, yet states symmetric stabs tit for tat tempest tease tables turn, democracy dimming doused, defiant redraws dawn.